Good evening, and welcome to this edition of CAN TV's Channel 21 interactive show. And you're here with the Safer Foundation. For those who've not previously tuned in, we've actually been doing the show for about a year now. And if you're not familiar with the Safer Foundation, we are an organization that helps persons with criminal records find employment and become law-abiding citizens of our communities. My name is Veronica Ballard, and I'm responsible for public policy and external relations for the Safer Foundation. And with me is my colleague, Jodina Hicks, who has responsibility for core programs at Safer. Before Ms. Hicks talks about those core programs, I'd like to tell you what our topic of the day is. And that topic is the Doomsday Budget for the state of Illinois. Most of you at this point have heard about the situation with our budget, and you also know that many of our elected officials have some concern about the budget and thus have not voted for the governor's current proposed budget. The legislators left on May 31st without making a decision about those budgets for the organizations that contract with the state of Illinois. And since then, not much progress has been made to determine how much revenue is going to be used or needed for the services and programs that fund the work we do at Safer Foundation as well as other organizations. Let me talk about the funding and why it's so important for us to sound a horn about the funding that our organization needs. The message that needs to resonate, and it needs to resonate loud and clear, not only by the Safer Foundation, but any organization that does work in the human services area as well as public safety. It also needs to resonate for every citizen of the state of Illinois. We've learned recently that approximately 11,000 individuals could be released from the Illinois Department of Corrections, men and women, and they will come out without supportive services. That's because of the proposed budget cuts. We also recognize that there are individuals such as our wonderful and passionate elderly people. There are people with mental illnesses. There are people who need help with housing and education. They're not going to be able to get that if the budget cuts are as severe as expected. And the severity has been suggested upwards of 75% of some of the human services and public safety budgets could be cut. So we're working diligently to educate our lawmakers about the need to ensure that our most vulnerable citizens are not denied the services and programs they need to survive in our society. So what I'd like to do this afternoon, or this evening rather, is ask our core program officer, Jodina Hicks, to talk to us about some of the programs that we have at the Safer Foundation. And some of those programs at this point could possibly be cut. We don't know if programs will be reduced or if they'll be eliminated in some capacity, but Jodina's going to talk about the valuable programs we have at Safer that we are we're hoping won't be cut. So Jodina, why don't you talk a little bit about some of the programs at Safer that you have responsibility for administering?
Okay, thank you, Veronica. And thank you, viewer audience. We're looking forward to your calls tonight. We want to hear from you. But as Ms. Ballard discussed, the Safer Foundation's mission is to reduce recidivism through providing through a full set of services, the supports for people with criminal records to become employed, productive citizens. Safer is 38 years old, and the core of our work is employment training, placement, retention, follow-up supports. What's been really exciting is over the last 5 to 6 years, we've had the opportunity to work with our Illinois Department of Corrections to develop and implement some new program models that really allow us to be much more effective in working with people who have been affected by the criminal justice system. Starting with the Sheridan program in 2004, we worked with Department of Corrections and other organizations such as TASC, the CSACs, which are Community Support Advisory Councils, Haymarket, Gateway, and now WestCare, to provide within a prison setting, a drug treatment residential program where skills are learned while in prison. We have hard skills training. Safer provides soft skills training, computer lab training, as well as hard skills training in different high growth areas, so the people coming out of prison can be of value to those industries that need employees. And so this is very innovative with the Department of Corrections. We now have 2 prisons that follow this model, Sheridan and Southwestern, and the recidivism rates have lowered. the employment placement has almost doubled over the last 4 years, with several thousand people coming out of prison, getting employment, being successful. But let me put a pause there because we have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Denise White, and I am actually a client at Safer Foundation. And I just want to say that I'm really hoping that they do not cut the actual program where they actually teach you how to fill out an application properly. Also, how to conduct yourself during an interview. I think the teacher's name would be Miss Mosley. She's like one of the greatest. She gave me so much hope. I still haven't found a job, but just the correct way of knowing how to fill out an application, how to answer certain questions. It really helps so much. So is there anything that I can do to make sure that they do not discontinue that? Because that is really needed.
Thank you so much. And we would love for anyone, yourself especially, to call your local representative, your senator, other members of the General Assembly, and tell them what you just told us.
Absolutely.
Because they need to hear your message, and they need to understand the importance of programs and supports such as SAFER. And the best person to hear it from is from you.
Absolutely. And at SAFER, we pulled together what we call our Doomsday Budget Toolkit. And it includes strategy that you could use to help you to have that conversation with your legislator. So if you will give us a call at our SAFER number at 312-922-2200, and you can actually ask for me, and I will lead you through kind of the channels you need to take to make sure that your legislator hears from you and hears about the value of the programs we offer at the SAFER Foundation. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Another caller. Good evening, caller.
Hi. Yes,
Hi.
I was calling to find out, does the SAFER Foundation actually assist individuals with criminal backgrounds or felons with job placement?
And that is our core mission. That's our core ministry. That's our service. We have, over the last 12 months, had, as of today, over 2,500 job starts, entirely all made by people with criminal records. We have a wonderful set of employers who love us because our clients are the hardest working, best employees they have found. And so we appreciate our employers, but most of all, we appreciate our clients because we have men and women who are coming out of prison or off on probation who really want a second, third, fourth chance to really be able to get into employment, support themselves, their children, their families. And so yes, job placement training is what we do. And I believe we have another caller. Good evening, caller.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask, I work for a small business who has some different types of part-time openings. What is the process for getting involved with SAFER to actually have you recommend a few different people for this business?
That's wonderful.
Perfect call, right?
Yes.
Yeah, actually,
Perfect
these are the
call.
kinds of calls we'd love to have. Jodina mentioned earlier, Ms. Hicks mentioned earlier that we will have helped about 2,500 people get job starts this year. That's with 10,000 people just about coming to us during this particular fiscal year. And so we've got lots of clients. What we also need to have is more employers like yourself who are willing to give individuals an opportunity to get their lives on track. So if you'll give us a call at the SAFER Foundation, we can certainly steer you in the right direction, if you will, with respect to trying to get on board to become an employer. And one of the things that we do, we don't just engage employers initially, we continue those relationships. And so give us a call. You can call me directly.
Let's get his number now.
Yeah,
if we'll
have the
sector managers.
Absolutely. If you want to, we can transfer you back to the person who took your call coming in, and she'll take your call, she'll take your number, and name, and we'll give you a call and connect you to one of the appropriate sector managers at the SAFER Foundation. We'll certainly be in touch fairly soon. We're going to take one more call, and then we actually have some special guests here that I want to make sure we have some time to talk to them. We have Willie Aldridge and Charles Brady here. And they're individuals who are clients of the SAFER Foundation. And I mean, what better example we can give you in terms of the work we do and the value of it than have individuals tell their story about how SAFER helped them to get their lives back on track. Because that's what this really is all about, is giving individuals an opportunity to have a second chance in life. So let's take the next caller, and then we're going to have one of our clients to come in
Hello?
and talk to you.
Good
Yes.
Hi, good evening. I want to commend you ladies for having the opportunity to voice, for the Safer Foundation for individuals that are in the criminal justice system, because without these resources, these people would have, a rubber stamp on them. So, I think it's wonderful that you're supporting this program, and hopefully these politicians will, support your decision also. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for the call.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate that.
And just to wrap up a bit on programs,
Absolutely.
so we can get to our guests, as we heard the first caller is a client at our downtown location where we have a heavy emphasis on job training, placement, supports, including a job readiness class. A program we've been able to implement again with the Department of Corrections that's in jeopardy of being cut is our statewide program where we have that class where people have the opportunity to go through job search techniques, create resumes, leave the prison with copies of their resumes, their cover letter, practice mock interviewing, understand and be trained on what employers are looking for in the workforce. At all 31 prisons throughout the state of Illinois are now using our curriculum through the help and assistance of our staff who are coaching and providing supports to college trainers that are in the classroom. That program is also in jeopardy of being cut. What we have now is people being able to utilize their time and to start the reentry process a year and 2 years before they come home, instead of what we typically see is at the point of release, is when the supports are there or not there as people come home. So we're looking forward to hearing from a couple clients. We want to thank Ms. Ballard for the opportunity to talk about our programs, because when you hear 10,000 people we're serving a year, 2,500 jobs, behind every one of those numbers is a person, a family, children, and a community. And we are very concerned that these programs that really help people have a second chance and to be a good resource to employers be cut. So
Great. So I'm going to tune out because, again, we want to hear from those individuals who can talk from a personal perspective about how SAFER has helped them. And again, it certainly adds value to the argument we're trying to make for getting that budget passed. So I'm going to excuse myself and allow those gentlemen to come forward.
all right, thank you.
Thank
We
you.
have coming first Mr. Charles Brady, who is a part of the Sheridan program that we talked about earlier. And we're going to hear a bit from him. We actually have a unique situation tonight in that we have two gentlemen, we'll hear from Mr. Brady first, who are roommates. They were partners at Sheridan. They came home on the same day just a little over a year ago, and they are two phenomenal gentlemen. So we're looking forward to hearing your story. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
Jodina.
Brady, for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
And you have some very passionate outlooks on why these programs are important. So I want to give you a chance to tell our audience about yourself and your views on why these programs need to be supported.
Well, actually, yeah, I have an extensive criminal history, but I'm not stigmatized by it. I haven't allowed my past to hinder my going into the future. Like I said, my background is very, very extensive, but the programs that are they're trying to eliminate are some of the most valuable programs that we have available to ex-offenders now. These programs are necessary.
And why
They-
should the community care about this? And why should our politicians invest money into supporting people with records?
Because these people want some hope. These people are part of communities. These people have families. No one ever wanted to go to jail, but sometimes circumstances, they overwhelm us and things happen. We all make mistakes. These programs have proved to be most valuable to guys coming home who are reconnecting with their families, who are enthusiastic about being productive members of society once again. The SAFER program in itself has proven for me to be most valuable. It has allowed me to continue with my education. I'm pursuing a bachelor's degree. It has helped me to with the people who are involved there. They have a personable approach, which was a great help to me, because sometimes coming home you can become frustrated. You know, you can lose patience, and they actually help. They care. You know, no one wants to come home and not think that anyone cares about them. You know, SAFER is fundamental in, and from my own personal perspective, fundamental in stopping recidivism, because it offers hope, it offers opportunities, it offers positive change for an individual. You know, if they want that, it's there for them. To eliminate these programs would not only hurt an individual, but it would hurt a community. It would actually hurt more than one community. This program is desperately needed.
Tell us what would happen if these programs go away?
If they go away, the individual who's coming home now, if they don't have these type of programs and these resources available to them, they have no hope. They have no hope. They're starting from square one. Square one meaning that they're back to where they were before they even went to prison. They'll feel as though no one cares once again. No one cares. They need to know that people care about them. You know, when a person feels as though no one cares, he doesn't care about himself. SAFER offers that to a person. They show that they care. The resources that are available to the individual coming home from SAFER, once again, they're invaluable.
So describe what happens when someone comes home and doesn't have those resources and that hope. What happens in the community?
He resorts to the only thing that he knows how to do in order to survive. He has to live. You know, not saying that he doesn't want to change, but if he doesn't have the resources available to him to help him to change, he has to go back to doing the same thing. That's why these programs are so valuable. You know, the mental program, the recovery programs. I was already part of a program, a recovery home, the Kedzie House, located on Kedzie and Wabansie in Chicago. One of the best places that I've ever been. If this place had not been available to me, as well as going through SAFER and Sheridan, if these programs hadn't been available to me, I have no idea. Even though I'm a very focused person, but that's me. Other individuals that come home, they need to be motivated. They need to know that there's help available. And these programs offer that help. The training, the counseling, you know, all these things are opportunities to help an individual move forward. This program, for them to even imagine getting rid of this program, you know, it makes me have to wonder, how well do you care about your fellow man?
Would it save the state money if they cut programs like Sheridan, like Southwestern?
Saving money? I actually don't know where they get that math from. How can you save money if you don't have these programs available, and, you know, say 10,000 people come home, and you don't have these programs available for them? Prisons are already overcrowded. It costs more to house an individual inside of a prison than it does to have these resources available to him. You know, how will the state save money? You won't save money for a simple reason. You'll have to build more prisons to house more people and charge the constituents of whatever county or whatever area you're in more taxes. How do you save money by building more prisons? You can't save money. That does not add up, you know.
And Mr. Brady, tell us about the young people you see going to prison. What is their situation?
Actually, right now, you know, you have young individuals out there now who don't have positive role models. You know, we need more positive role models. And through working with SAFER, Sheridan, and these other organizations, the people who work there help to motivate you. In turn, you help to motivate someone else. You know, it all works hand in hand. You know, these programs are invaluable.
And I understand you are doing that, not only with other people, but with your partner who's here tonight. Would you like to introduce him?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
My brother, Mr. Willie Aldridge.
We want to thank you,
Thanks a lot,
Mr.
Mr. Brady.
Charles Brady, and welcome Mr. Willie Aldridge.
Thank you.
Who
Thank you very much.
I just had the chance to meet at a graduation ceremony on Saturday.
Yes.
For your accomplishments. So tell us a little about yourself.
Right now I'm a student at Phoenix University downtown, pursuing my bachelor's degree in business management. As you know, me and Charles Brady, we've been Bonnie and Clyde for almost like a year and a half now. We came home together May 6th. He went to Jolly. I went to Calumet City. And by God's grace, we reunited at the Kedzie House, which is a excellent place. And we reunited there, and we stayed there about 8 months. Now we share an apartment together. And he's like a big brother to me.
Good.
A mentor. He keeps me on track.
And I understand you have been a volunteer for Ceasefire,
Yes.
for the Community Support Advisory Councils,
Yes.
And for Voice of the People, and all these programs, including Kedzie House,
Yes.
have gotten letters that their funding will be cut if this state budget moves forward in the way we're hearing. So what do you see that impact would have on our community?
It's going to be a great blow to the community, because it's people out there, young men and women, that need those type of programs, that need those recovery programs, that need those housing programs, that need those job training programs. And without those type of resources and those programs, what do they have left? All they can do is go back to what they know best. So the thing is to keep those programs up and going. Not just keep them going, but expand them, make more of them.
And tell us a little about you. How did the Sheridan program have an impact on your life, and where do you think you would be if it weren't for a resource such as that?
The Sheridan program actually gave me a sense of hope. Without the Sheridan program, right now I don't know where I would be, but with the Sheridan program, it actually gave me a sense of direction, where I want to be in life, where I want to go in life. It actually gave me a solid foundation to stand on. As like Mr. Charles Brady, I'm too been a victim of the criminal system. But with the Sheridan program, it gave me, I did a whole 180. I didn't do the whole 360 because I'd be back in the same spot.
Right.
So I did a 180. So the Sheridan program, it actually gave me showed me how to be a leader. Instead of being a follower, I can also be a leader that I've been born to be. So with the Sheridan program, it just keep me focused, keep me strong, and just give me a chance to use my leadership skills.
And you have a job coach in the community for 2 years after getting out of the program. Has that been helpful to you? And tell us a little about the job coach.
Yes, Miss Vernell Swanigan for Safer. I mean, she's an excellent job coach. Not only that, she helps me with my job lead, my job search, my schooling. She be wanting me to make appointments to come in, but she know I'm not gonna make no appointments. I'm coming in there every day, and she be like, Willie, what you coming in there for? I just need to talk to you. She'll stop anything that she's doing and she'll talk to me.
Good.
And that's what I love about Vernell. She take out time out of her busy schedule to sit down and talk to me. And that's what I love about her. She's a great job coach.
Well, we want to thank you, Mr. Aldridge, for coming in tonight, and we're going to have our host come back and close us out.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, and good luck.
Thanks.
Great. I'm glad to be back, Jodina. And those were wonderful interviews with our clients. And again, it just speaks volumes. Jodina and I could talk about it from the perspective of an employer or a person who works at the Safer Foundation, but to hear individuals who actually had an opportunity to experience going through these programs and how it changed their lives, I think that resonates a lot louder than anything we could possibly say. So again, for those individuals who've not been involved in this movement, we certainly urge you to join us and call your legislators, send email messages, send facsimiles to them, write letters, phone-a-thon. On yesterday, about 6,000 individuals rallied at the Capitol in Springfield. And that rally was, again, to urge lawmakers to really help us to keep the critical programs that SAFER and other organizations have going. And we welcome you and welcome the opportunity to have you join us in that regard. So we're going to close out tonight. We really thank you for joining us, and we look forward to our future show.